The Farnese Hercules has a really massive, awe-inspiring physique that a lot of gym goers, myself included, would like to achieve. In this video, I'm going to analyze which muscles are important for this physique. I'll tell you the best exercises you can do to develop those muscles, and I'll give you a program at the end to get you started on developing a physique like this statue. So let's start with this picture. First thing I notice is how wide his shoulders are. The width of your shoulders is largely genetic and depends on the length of your collarbones, but you can make yourself look wider by training your upper back and your side delts and your rear delts to give you a wider appearance. Second, his arms, especially that arm that he's got draped over his club. His arms look really thick, both the upper arm and the forearms. And then moving to his torso, you can see he has quite a wide, blocky waist with really big obliques. And his chest is not all that prominent. I think his arms are more dominant than his chest in this case. And you can see his abs and some ab veins, so he's clearly quite lean, but not completely shredded. More important is just like the overall size. This is a very strong physique, not really focused on being as aesthetic as possible, but being as strong as possible. And he also has pretty big legs. From this angle, they don't look massive because we can just see the quads, but once you see them from the back, you'll see his glutes and his hamstrings are really massive. So here is another angle. This is a drawing of the same statue, and we can see a little bit more definition in certainly his arms and his quads, and his abs look more defined as well, but obviously the overall proportion is the same. From this angle as well, you can see the traps are enormous, and his shoulder looks better in this shot as well. We also get a glimpse at his calves, which are pretty big. And again, this is clearly like a strong, imposing physique rather than like an aesthetic, lean, beautiful physique. This is more like big and monstrous, but still really good looking. And in this shot from the back, we can see he has enormous glutes. His hamstrings are really great as well. And his back is so heavily muscled, especially the upper back and the back thickness. Obviously, his lats are quite good as well. And training your lats is going to help you look much wider. Here's another diagram also from the back showing the anatomy of his muscles. And proportionally, this makes it look like his legs are quite short and his torso is quite long. And you can just see how wide his torso is. So having a small waist really isn't that important for this physique. So the V taper is not really a priority here. We do want wide shoulders, but the waist doesn't have to be tiny. And the legs are also big, so it's more of an X taper physique. And here is another angle. Again, you can see his glutes, obviously the hamstrings, and his massive back. So overall, I'm going to say this is a posterior chain dominant physique. So that means his glutes, his calves, his hamstrings, and his back are most important. So the most important muscles overall are going to be back thickness, the legs, the traps and the neck, his arms and his forearms, and having that thick waist. The chest is not that much of a priority. The shoulders are also not that big. More important are the extremities like the legs and the arms, and also the size of his torso like the back and the waist. So the main priority for this physique is not really proportion, it's just to get as massive as possible. So you want to do exercises that are just going to pack on slabs of muscle, like the most effective compound exercises that are going to target as many muscles as possible, rather than small, light isolation exercises that aren't going to have that much of an impact on your overall physique. You want to be doing big compounds with a barbell with relatively heavy weight. So starting with the legs and the glutes, we can just do the basic squats, deadlifts, and lunges. That's going to cover your quads, your glutes, your hamstrings, and your lower back. And then for shoulders, we can do the standard overhead press. For the back, we want to do all kinds of rowing variations like the bent over barbell row, one arm dumbbell rows, cable rows, chest supported rows, and also weighted pull-ups and chin-ups for the back width. Also going to be really good for your forearms and biceps. And then for the chest, weighted dips and bench press. And for this physique, since it's so massive, you really need to be eating a lot of calories and protein. It's okay to be slightly higher body fat when you're bulking to get this enormous physique. Really being shredded is not that important in this case. And you're going to see so much better progress if you're in a caloric surplus. So the big compounds that I just talked about should be the core of your training program. and getting stronger on these lifts will get you probably 80% of your gains. So all of these will get you much bigger, but they will leave some crucial areas lagging, which we're going to need to address. So the arms, calves, the neck, and the traps all need to be addressed with more isolation type exercises. So for the arms, we can do, for the biceps, barbell curl and dumbbell curl, and for the triceps, overhead triceps extensions using a dumbbell or a barbell or cables, and then close grip bench press and triceps push downs. And for calves, you can do single leg calf raises and calf press on the leg press machine, or if you have some kind of calf raise machine, you can also do that. For the neck, you can do neck curls, neck extensions, and side neck raises using a neck harness if you have one, or a plate. And if you haven't done neck stuff before, then you can just do bodyweight neck exercises. For the traps, you can do farmer walks and shrugs. For the abs, hollow body holds and hanging knee raises are going to be some of the best ab exercises you can do. And then for the side and rear delts to get that shoulder width and a 3D look, you can do lateral raises, upright rows, face pulls, and reverse flies. So I've made a program using most of these exercises, and following this we'll pack on slabs of muscle like I said earlier. Most of these are going to be big compound barbell movements that are going to target lots of muscles at the same time, and the focus is just going to be on getting stronger on these few barbell movements and then getting plenty of volume in with the smaller isolation stuff. So on Monday I'm starting with 3 sets of 5 squats. So these are heavy squats. 5 sets is about the lowest you want to go for hypertrophy. You can build a good amount of muscle anywhere between 5 and 30 reps. Anywhere below 5 reps and there's not really enough volume for you to get much bigger, but you will get a lot stronger doing below 5 reps. And then over 30 reps, you're going into like endurance territory, and the hypertrophy stimulus just isn't worth the fatigue and the time it takes to perform that many reps. So the squat is for the quads and the glutes mostly. Next, you have barbell rows for the back thickness. Again, these are very heavy. In this program, I'm going to include some heavy stuff and some lighter, more volume stuff for each muscle group. So you're covering both like the strength side at the lower rep ranges and the hypertrophy side with the higher reps. Next, we're doing 5 sets of 5 on overhead press for the shoulders. And then following that, lateral raises, 3 sets of 15. You can do dumbbells or cables. You basically just want to go very close to failure with these, and that's going to really help your side delts. And then barbell curls, 3 sets of 10, obviously for the biceps. This is the main bicep movement that you want to be like progressing, trying to get stronger on. And then calf press, 4 sets of 10. And finally, triceps push down, 3 sets of 15. Again, you want to go close to failure on these. On day 2, we're doing 3 sets of 10 deadlift. That's going to be really good for the lower back, the hamstrings, and the glutes. After that, we're doing chest supported rows, 5 sets of 10. Again, this is for the back thickness. And doing it chest supported takes out the need to use your lower back, so you can just focus on contracting your lats and your upper back muscles. And then 5 sets of 5 bench press for the chest. Obviously also going to hit the shoulders and the triceps. And then face pulls, 3 sets of 20. If you keep your shoulders pressed down as much as you can, then this is going to target the rear delts. If you shrug your shoulders up, then it's going to target the traps more. I recommend keeping your shoulders depressed down to focus on the rear delts because they don't get hit with many other movements, whereas the traps get hit when you're deadlifting, shrugging, all that kind of stuff. And then weighted chin-ups. Mostly this is going to be for the lats and also your biceps. This is another one that you want to really try and get very strong at. And then for the abs, hollow body hold, 3 sets to failure, and finally 3 sets of close grip push-ups to failure for the triceps. Then on day 3, we're doing 5 sets of 10 squats. So this is the high volume squat work for the week. Going to be really good for your quads and your glutes. And then 1-arm dumbbell rows. After that, overhead triceps extension for the long head of the triceps. Then upright rows, you can use either barbell or dumbbells. Start with a light weight because if you go straight into heavy weight, then there's a good chance that you're going to injure yourself. So you want to start light and really control this movement and get your body used to that position. People think this is a dangerous movement because they go straight into heavy weight and then they yank the weight up without controlling it and end up injuring their shoulder. But like any other movement, you've got to ease into it, learn the movement pattern, get your joints used to that positioning. And this is a really good exercise for your side delts and your traps. Next, dumbbell curls for the biceps, ideally as close to failure as you can, and then single leg calf raises 4 sets to failure and 3 sets of farmer walks to failure. You can use dumbbells or a trap bar, and I like doing them without straps so it becomes a forearm exercise as well. Then on day 4, 3 sets of 10 lunges. I like doing walking lunges with dumbbells. If you prefer, you could put a barbell on your back and do lunges that way. After that, seated cable rows. Again, this kind of removes the lower back from the equation, so you can really focus on just the stretch and the squeeze in your back muscles. Then close grip bench press for your triceps. Try and keep your elbows tucked as much as you can to focus on the triceps rather than allowing your elbows to come out, which will involve more chest and shoulders. Then reverse flies for the rear delts. Again, keep your shoulders depressed if you can. If you shrug them up, then your traps are going to get involved and it won't be targeting your rear delts as effectively. Then weighted pull-ups for the lats, hanging knee raises 3 sets to failure, and then shrugs with either a barbell, a trap bar, or dumbbells. And you can also do neck curls and neck extensions on your off days. I recommend doing them at least 2 times a week. Something like 3 sets of 20 to 30 reps. Thank you for watching, I hope you enjoyed. I know in my last video I said I wasn't going to do a training program for this physique because I thought it was like too advanced. So I just gave some general guidelines, but after having a think, I decided I think I could make a program for this physique. So that's what I've done in this video. I think this is one of my most solid programs yet. Uses mostly compound barbell movements, focusing on driving strength rather than isolating muscles with smaller movements. And that's really the main principle of getting bigger muscles is you want to get stronger and also do a lot of volume, a lot of high rep stuff to drive blood into that muscle. As long as you're getting stronger, you're probably going to get bigger as well. Obviously remember to eat plenty of protein, plenty of calories and get lots of sleep, and hopefully you'll be well on your way to achieving this physique or whatever physique you want to have. Thank you for watching and I'll see you in the next one. If you've seen my video on Toji's physique and you're interested in the complete guide to achieving Toji Fushigaro's physique, including a physique analysis and weightlifting or calisthenics training programs tailored to suit your needs and efficiently maximize muscle growth, check out the link at the top of the description.